Consider the total economic output of a sovereign nation. The gross domestic product of Albania is currently 17.74 billion US dollars. This scale applies to many other nations as well. Jamaica generates 15.45 billion, Afghanistan 19.81 billion. You can add the output of Iceland, Cyprus, Nepal, and Zambia to that list. Yet the personal net worth of a single individual, Gautam Adani, chairperson of the Adani Group, stands at $155.7 billion. One person's wealth effectively dwarfs the total economic activity of all those nations combined. These astronomical figures are not relics of the past. They are part of our present reality. But for the average person, the reality is far different. A cycle of waiting for the next salary and struggling to save while expenses and rent continue to climb. Most are taught to follow a standard path: earn a degree, get a job, and sacrifice daily comforts to build personal savings that never seem to grow fast enough. This equation illustrates the primary constraint of the working class. Income is tied directly to the time you put in. Whether you work part-time, full-time, or overtime, you are simply trading hours for a fixed rate. This timeline shows the mathematical result. If you earn $30,000 a month, it will take you 28 years to save 1 crore, and that is assuming no household expenses or taxes ever interfere with that total. Furthermore, inflation ensures that by the time you reach that 28-year goal, the actual buying power of that 1 crore will have eroded significantly. Following these traditional rules means your most valuable resource, your time, slips away while you accumulate an asset that is worth less every year. Wealthy individuals don't follow that timeline. A recent Forbes report shows that 84% of billionaires made during the pandemic are self-made, joining the ranks of veterans like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. This trend continues with modern innovators like Jeff Bezos, who built massive wealth by operating on an entirely different equation. The wealthy do not trade their time for a salary. In a capitalist society, you're paid based on the value you create, and that value is determined by the market. Compare the physical exhaustion of a sweeper or a laborer to a surgeon or an accountant. Despite the intense physical toll, the laborer will always earn less than the specialist in the cabin. This is because the market values skills that are difficult to replace. A surgeon spends years developing an expertise that saves lives, while manual labor, though difficult, can be performed by almost anyone. To increase your value, you must stop chasing money through labor. Instead, find the high-value problems the market is desperate to solve. Solving a problem is the foundation of every major company. Uber solved the difficulty of finding transport. Amazon solved the inconvenience of shopping in person and the long wait for deliveries. Look closely at your own industry. Identify what people complain about, what frustrates them, or what gaps in service they constantly wish were filled. This diagram shows the limit of a non-scalable business. A guitar tutor who charges 2,000 rupees for an hour of tuition is still tied to a job. If the tutor isn't there, the money stops. However, if that tutor records an online course, they perform the work once. That solution can then reach thousands of people simultaneously, 24 hours a day. This is the power of scalability. Once the solution is created, it can be sold an infinite number of times without requiring additional personal labor. Without this scalability, you haven't built a business. You've just created a job where you are the only employee. Many entrepreneurs struggle with the habit of taking every responsibility onto their own shoulders, believing they are the only ones who can do the work correctly. Scaling requires you to remove yourself from the daily tasks. By building a team and delegating work, you transform your solution into an autonomous machine that functions independently. Once a profitable system is running smoothly, you have a choice. You can continue to grow the business and enjoy the profits, or you can sell the company at a high valuation. This is how massive wealth is created through acquisitions. When eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion, $165 million went directly to Elon Musk. True generational wealth isn't found in a monthly paycheck. It comes from cashing out or automating a highly scalable system that solves a market need. Ultimately, paper money is just a number on a screen. It only has value as long as society believes in its worth. The real prize in this game isn't the money itself. It is the ability to buy back your time, the one resource that is finite for everyone. Once your time is gone, no amount of money can bring it back. The wealthy use their capital to exit the repetitive loop of work, sleep, and retirement, gaining the freedom to control their own existence. Ask yourself if sacrificing the majority of your limited life for a job you dislike is an acceptable trade. The foundation of this shift remains the same. Stop running after money and start identifying the problems the market needs solved. This path involves immense struggle. It requires breaking lifelong beliefs taught in school and society, and it will involve inevitable setbacks. Founders typically encounter failure multiple times, using each iteration as data to refine the next solution and move forward. While this struggle is difficult, it is a meaningful pursuit. Solving impactful problems is the only documented route to absolute, unshakable freedom.